Sorry about that. Turn off the fan so it doesn't do in the background. Unusual and suspicious style, and I should have not done that, but I'm going to keep on going anyway because unexpected but funny intro in a roundabout way. But that being said, hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy. I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. This is the first time I've ever clicked on one of my videos and wondering what that was. That's not how I usually start these things, so bit of an unusual start, like I said, but one I'm just going to continue with. The reason it's on because it's blooming warm where I am right now, but still, we carry on with these videos, so we are going to continue onwards. And in this one, we're going to be reviewing Slammiversary from Impact Wrestling, which took place on the 18th of July 2021. And it was a very good show, so that being said, jump into it. Opening matchup was a pre-show match, and it was for the Knockout Tag Team titles. Fire and Flavor defending the titles against, Decay, and Decay now has a new member, and that's Havoc. She is fully pledged herself to Decay when her and Rosemary were just tag team partners, but now she's now part of Decay, so it's really, really cool to see. And I'm going to be honest with you, this was a very good match. I really enjoyed the match between all four ladies. They really showed what a good tag team title match can be, and it was a very good opener. And it was great to see Rosemary and Havoc win the titles. They did win the titles for Fire and Flavor, which something I didn't expect because I really do like Fire and Flavor, but Rosemary and Havoc just work as a tag team, to be completely honest. And it showed here, and they showed great comradeship. And it was a good tag team match, to be fair. Great way to open the show, even though it was a pre-show match. It was still a very good way to open it. I enjoyed this one a great deal. And I thought the way all four ladies worked it was superb. Great tag team continuity, with the champions looking good, but and they really did do what Fire and Flavor does, and that's just be you use a lot of banter, taunting their opponents, and they did it in such a unique way, and that's what Fire and Flavor do. But Rosemary and Havoc just seemed to have something very strong about them as a tag team, and it showed because they did win the belts. But this was a very good opener to me. I did enjoy this one a great deal, and this was something that I think was a good thing for the tag team division, even though, because I do like Fire and Flavor, I think Decay winning was the right call, and new knockout tag team champion. So definite thumbs up to all four ladies for producing a very good opening matchup. Very good stuff. Which brings us to the pay-per-view itself, and the very start of the pay-per-view. And the very first matchup on the pay-per-view was the Ultimate X match between Trey Miguel, Ace Raju, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Josh Alexander, and Pete Williams, sorry, my fault, yep, who was also in the matchup. And of course, Josh Alexander was the defending champion. This was the first time I think he's ever been in an Ultimate X match. And if you've seen Ultimate X matches in the past, you know they are one of the most unique matches in all professional wrestling. And if you don't know what it is, basically I'll explain. Outside of the four corner posts on the outside is a metal strut that goes upwards, and basically the wrestlers have to climb up that to use cables that all converge from each of the struts into the middle, like that, forming an X, which is why it's called the Ultimate X match. And the championship belt is hung in the middle of all four ropes coming in the middle. So basically, kind of how a ladder match, the title be elevated above the ring, but this one you have to use the ropes. I've seen people do it differently, win the belts in different ways, but you have to use the ropes to climb to get to the belt, to get it to bring it down. And of course, in the past, some of the Ultimate X matches have just been absolutely outstanding, and it's a real testament to what the X Division is all about. And it's the signature match, I'll say, of the X Division. And this was the first Ultimate X match in Impact Wrestling for some time, to be fair. But what a welcome return it was. This was superb stuff. It really, really was. And when you see these kind of matches, you're always going to get such innovation from every single wrestler involved, and you definitely did here. This was an insanely good way to open the pay-per-view. Great action, great all-round high-flying X Division style, which you'd expect from these guys, considering it's the X Division. But even though Josh Alexander, arguably the best all-round pure wrestler in Impact Wrestling, he's never done a match like this. He looked like he belonged. He really did, and he did retain the title. But it's not to say that not everybody else in this matchup just knocked out the park, because they did. And Pete Williams giving a Canadian destroyer from the cables onto Chris Bay was bonkers. I've never seen anything like that. Pete Williams is the originator of that move in pro wrestling, but that was just absolutely crazy. But then you kind of expect no less when you see the Ultimate X matches. You do see these fantastic athletes do such a great job. This was definitely no exception. A brilliant way to open the pay-per-view, and as Ultimate X matches go, this is one of the best ones I've seen for a while. I'm not saying it because I haven't seen anything for a while, but this was really, really, really good. And I definitely, great to see that kind of match back. And Josh Alexander retaining was the right call. I think he's the man that is really carrying the X Division on his back right now, and because he's such a good wrestler. But it's not to say any other guys in the ring in this matchup couldn't carry the belts themselves, because they could. So definite thumbs up to every single person in this matchup for producing one heck of an opener. No other way to say it. So well done for sure. So next match was a mixed tag team matchup. It was Brian Myers and Tennille Dashwood versus Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, making her return to Impact Wrestling. Now, those who know Impact's past, Matt Cardona and Tennille Dashwood have a bit of history in the promotion company, I should say. So to see it kind of come back in a strange roundabout way was kind of cool, because Brian Myers and Matt Cardona have been feuding for a long time, and they've known each other since they broke into business together. They've known each other for so many years, and of course their feud has been really entertaining to watch. And to see Tennille Dashwood been born to it, considering his history with Matt Cardona, was really cool. So of course Matt Cardona had to find a tag team partner, and it was a mystery tag team partner. Happened to be his fiancée, Chelsea Green. And I give credit where it's due for two reasons. One, Chelsea Green has got a cast on her arm. I'm not sure if she's got a fractured wrist or something, but the doctors did clear her to wrestle. So, of course, she went in there and she did what she does best. That's be Chelsea Green. If you've ever seen her before, she's got wrestling skills to boot. And she's also got the great character in her mind. Kind of like the diva-esque approach to it, but modern day. And also kind of like the hot mess mentality towards it. It really does work. And it worked in this match too. And she getting in the face of Tennille Dashwood. And the exchanges between those two was superb. It really was. But the exchanges between everybody in this match was superb. And I really enjoyed it. And it was a good mixed tag match, to be fair. And I think Matt and Chelsea winning was the right call. Whether Chelsea is going to be coming back to Impact full time, I don't know, because I know she's wrestling with Ring of Honor right now. But that being said, it was an enjoyable mixed tag match, and I will give a heck of a lot of credit. Old school vibes to me. Basically, one of my favourite memories of the Macho Man Randy Savage, rest his soul, and Miss Elizabeth, rest her soul, was after Macho Man Randy Savage lost the Ultimate Warrior one time. Basically, we reunited Elizabeth being on the shoulders of Macho Man Randy Savage. If you've seen the pictures, that's what Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona did after this match too, kind of like a tribute. I loved it, and I thought that's just great to watch, and definitely shows that they know their history when it comes to pro wrestling. So definite thumbs up to that, and thumbs up to both teams for producing a really solid, good tag match. I enjoyed this one, so there we go. And this matchup was W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards. And W. Morrissey, since he's been in Impact Wrestling, has been basically on a tear. He's been tearing through the competition. He's been doing everything he can to prove that he's kind of the victim of pro wrestling, because obviously, his past, he feels like he's been mistreated. And he's come to Impact to try and correct it. And there's nobody more Impact Wrestling than Eddie Edwards. He's the heart of the company for sure. And of course, he's been felt hard done by, and of course, that's what led to this matchup. And Morrissey is a monster, in no other way to say it. Eddie Edwards is, arguably the heart and soul of the company. But the matchup belonged to W. Morrissey. Not to say Eddie Edwards didn't have a good showing in this matchup, but Morrissey has shown why he's been on such a tear since appearing in Impact Wrestling. And I enjoyed it this match, to be fair. They worked very well together. Morrissey is, I said, not a huge, small guy at all. He's a monster. I mean, Eddie Edwards, he's not the smallest guy either. But Morrissey did win this matchup in fairly convincing fashion to continue the tear that he's been on as of late, in Impact. So thumbs up. Thumbs up to both men in this matchup. It brought us to an impromptu tag team matchup. Shearer and Madman Fulton came out to the ring because they were angry they were not allowed ringside for the Ultimate X match because Shira is associated with Rohit Raju and Madman Fulton is associated with Ace Austin. So they both came out to argue that they weren't allowed out. Obviously, if they thought they'd been allowed at ringside, the match could have gone to Rohit or to Ace Austin. Didn't happen. Scott D'Amore came out and saw these two, said, usually I'd have security escort you, but no, I've got some opponents for you guys ready to go, which they were. Brought out the return of Finn Juice Robinson and David Finlay. And it was great to see them back as, former Impact World Tag Team Champions signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but generally great tag team. And they're a tag team that kind of like to pay tribute to all the tag teams that have come before by using their tag team maneuvers like the Heart Foundation, Demolition, the Road Warriors. The list goes on and on and on. And then we know it was a short match, but it was a fun match, to be fair. And it was great to see Finn Juice back. They did win the matchup in fairly convincing fashion and quick fashion, but can't fault that. It's great to see them back, so definite thumbs up to that. Thumbs up to the match. And this matchup was Moose versus Chris Sabin. And this is one that's been building for a while. And arguably, two polar opposites in terms of their in-ring styles. Moose is, for me, the MVP of Impact Wrestling at the moment. He's, as time has gone on, he's just gotten better and better. And he's shown why he's such an asset for the company. And he had a fantastic showing in this matchup. But so did Chris Sabin, another guy who is, an Impact legend, the way to say, former Triple Crown winner. He's won all the titles there is to win in Impact Wrestling. And these two clashed superbly. Styles in terms of what they do is very different. Moose with the obvious height and power advantage, but Chris Sabin, didn't deter that. He gave everything that Chris Sabin can give because that's what Chris Sabin does. He's arguably one of the very best in Impact Wrestling history. And it showed why he's a veteran and so good at what he does in the business. And Chris Sabin won in unusual fashion after Moose thought he had him beat and was toying with him a little bit, but no. Moose got caught up by a roll up from a pin combination from Chris Sabin, which led to the win. And a surprise, to be completely honest with you. I thought Moose kind of ran his number, but no. Chris Sabin showed that you can't keep a man like him down. And he didn't keep him down. He won the matchup, but the exchanges between these two was so good. The power of Moose was incredible. The high impact moves he did, I've never seen him do before, was fantastic. But Chris Sabin showed why he's so good too. There's nothing the guy can't do and make it look great. He wrestles so well. He's got more of the X Division style in him, admittedly, but he's just so good all around. This was a really, really good, well-paced, more of a thought-out psychological match in strange ways, but the move from both men was first rate, so I definitely can fault this. This is probably one of the matches of the night for me. And I thought this was a great testament to what both men are capable of. So definitely a thumbs up to both men in this one for producing a superb matchup. So there we go. The next matchup was the Fatal 4-Way matchup for the Impact Tag Team titles. So the teams were Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Fowler Bar and an unknown partner, which we'll get to in a minute, versus the Good Brothers versus Violent by Design, the champions defending. Now, TJP could not make the pay-per-view. He was scheduled to team with Fowler Bar, but could not. So, Fowler Bar was without a tag team partner. So it comes out, No Way Jose. And his first television appearance since not being part of the WWE. But you know what? I love it. He's got the most infectious characters and biggest smiles in all wrestling, so you can't help but love that. And his in-ring style is great too. I do like No Way Jose, even though he's called No Way here, which is fine. But as tag team matches go, this is very, very good too. And these kind of matches can be a little bit chaotic, a little bit crazy. It wasn't so much in this matchup. It was very well thought out. Usually these kind of matches is like chopping and changing. They didn't do that. And for once, I don't mind it when they do that, to be honest. But for once in this match, and them not doing it, made a lot of sense. Every single team got a chance to slow things down a bit, work against each other, and work in a very cohesive and good way. And it showed. It really did. And I think, as good as this match was, I was not expecting the Good Brothers to win at all. I was expecting Violent by Design to retain the titles. But no, they didn't. They actually lost after the Magic Killer from the Good Brothers. And then picking up the win at the right time getting in the ring at the right time was just a testament to them as a tag team. Their smarts, their in ring experience. They showed it, and they got him to tag at the right time to hit the Magic Killer and win the match. And they're once again on top of the tag team division. And you know what? I've got nothing against that because I really like the Good Brothers. I've said it before. But the pacing of this matchup, the wrestling from everybody involved, the way they did things worked superbly. It really did. And this was definitely a matchup that could have been chopping and changing. It didn't need it. What they did in this matchup, pacing wise, was first rate. And I can't fault that. So definitely thumbs up to all men involved for producing a tag team matchup that was a bit surprising in terms of how they did things, but I'm definitely not complaining. So because it worked. So there you go. Can't fault that. So there we go. Also, so the next match was Deonna Purrazzo defending the title, or the Knockouts title, sorry, against an unknown opponent. Now, of course, Deonna Purrazzo has been a fantastic champion. She's pretty much beaten everybody there is to beat in Impact Wrestling, apart from one or two people. But she's steamrolled through the competition. There's not many people left to face because she's been that good. So, of course, Gail Kim came out recently and said to her, you've faced everybody. So at Slammiversary, you'll be facing an unknown opponent. So, of course, nobody knew until the pay-per-view itself who it was going to be. So, who stepped to the plate? Thunder Rosa. And if you've seen my past videos before, you know how much I rate Thunder Rosa. I think she's fantastic. She's had one of the best, 2021s than any female wrestler in the world. She's been on fire. She's obviously been great, and there's been nothing much that she hasn't done that has not been impressive. And her making her impact, no, not sure if it was her debut, to be honest, but no, her being a challenger, which I thought, oh, this is going to be good. Someone, Deonna's never faced a champion, with someone who's just as good, if not, maybe not better. I'm not going to say that's true, but this matchup was superb. It really was. And Thunder Rosa dominating quite a lot of the match was, I think, the right call. But Deonna did retain the title in very convincing fashion. And she showed why she is such a good champion, because her mindset and her psychology to fight back in the end and win the belt kind of out of nowhere was great. And you know what? It just shows that sometimes all you need is that 1 second to do it. And she was really on the back foot for a lot of the matchup. And Thunder Rosa showed why Thunder Rosa is that good. Everybody knows her as being one of the best in the world right now. And she continued to be just fantastic here. And there's definitely no other way to say it. This was a great matchup. And Deonna winning was the right call. As much as I do like Thunder Rosa, I think Deonna winning was the right call, because I think she still has a lot left in her, if you can believe that. And she's done so much already. But she's been a fantastic Knockouts champion. And there's more mileage in her to go. And even though there is pretty much nobody left, I think there's going to be more to come. So we're going to see that. We'll see who's going to know what's going to happen next. We have no idea. Tongue-tied myself yet again. But thumbs up to both ladies for producing a very good matchup. So here we go. Also, so in the main event, it was a no disqualification matchup between Kenny Omega defending the title against Sami Callihan. Now, of course, Kenny Omega, since winning the title, has been a man who's just been on fire. I mean, those who know me know that Kenny Omega is my favourite wrestler. I think he's the best wrestler in the world. And he's the best belt machine for a reason. But what do you do when you step into a world that's Sami Callihan's world? He's known for his street fighter. He's a man who's known for weapons. A very violent match type guy. Not death matches, I will say that. So what happens when Kenny Omega steps into his world and basically has to fight Sami's rules? What you got was arguably a really good street fight and a no disqualification match. Sorry. And the way that Kenny did this was great. He was not afraid to bleed like crazy. He was not afraid to take some insane moves from Sami. But the reverse can be said. Kenny Omega gave as good as he got in this matchup. And it was a very, very hard-hitting matchup, I didn't expect. But I was half expecting Sami to somehow put out the win. Kenny Omega proved that no matter who you are, the one-winged angel is a move you just don't kick out of. Only one man's ever done it, and that's Kota Ibushi. And he proved it is just as devastating as a move it still is. And him to hit it the way he did was crazy. But these two worked a very, very good match, to be fair. I thought this was a very worthy main event, and probably my match of the night. And, you know, brutal, hard hitting street fight, no DQ. But when both men give as good as the other one can give, and also take as well as the other can take, you're going to get a very even matchup. And in all seriousness, that's what you got in this matchup. It was very even throughout the whole bout. There wasn't really a clear cut winner until Kenny May hit a brutal V trigger with a thumbtack to Sammy's mouth, and that was brutal to watch. Because that's a brutal move anyway, even without thumbtacks in someone's mouth, which did lead to the one-winged angel and did lead to Kenny Omega to retain the title. But as I said, this was a matchup that really did a very good job of enhancing both men's careers. Because when you're facing someone like Kenny Omega, you are going to learn something. You are going to be, in a match and a half. But Kenny Omega learned that in Sami Callihan's world as well. And Sami can wrestle great without these kind of matches, but this was Sami's world, and Kenny stepped into it and came out winning. But without some scars and some memories, that's going to last, especially because of what Sami did. He showed why he's the Death Machine. But Kenny Omega retained the title and topped off what was a very good pay-per-view to be honest. I really did enjoy Slammiversary. It was a great testament to what Impact Wrestling have been doing throughout the year. They've just been going from strength to strength, and it showed here. So, thumbs up to everybody involved in this show. Really, really good stuff. So, on that positive note, I will end the review here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody next time. Until next time, take care.